Welcome to Four C's One Family. Coming to you from Taipei, Taiwan. I'm James Thomas. How you guys doing? Hope everybody's doing well. Here in Taiwan, we're celebrating Peace Memorial Day, 和平纪念日. It's 4 a.m. in the morning here. That's right. Nothing else to do but get in the morning and just talk some smack, right? But no, that's not what I'm up to right now. While, hey, how you doing, JD? I'm just here. Just feel like getting a few things off my chest. Two things showed up today that's kind of like got me thinking here, and just wanted to say something. You know, sitting in a coffee shop today, met with some relatives, and just doing some writing after work. Yeah, that's right. I got insomnia. I got insomnia. Let me see if I can change this here. Yeah, I can't. Let me take this off the screen here. But yeah, I got a little slight insomnia right now, right? Let me see if I can take this off here. Always doing something, right? There you go. Let's get that up here. Yeah, that's right. Insomnia. No. I'm just thinking all the time. And I have one of those brains that keep moving. But two things got me up this morning, but actually more than that. And from two different types of foreign nationals. You know, I've been living out here for so long. You know, you meet all kinds of people that come through, people that stay overseas for a long term, people that share a commonality with the local culture, language, history, and stuff like that. I got into an online debate with some fool. He'll find out who I am afterwards. But talking about the situation that's going on in Ukraine. And this person, lived in mainland China and house here. And he's talking about how much he's beefing about the people here in China and feel people here is whatever. And he's just going to move right along. These are the type of people, foreign nationals, that just totally toxic. I think about a year and a half ago, I did an episode on toxic foreign nationals. The type that goes overseas and live in another country, and then to do anything, the only thing they do is complain. And, I'm just sick and damn tired of complainers. Not willing to take part in the local environment and respectfully. And this is because they are such the type that either feel they're superior in their overseas environment. If that's the case, I need to take that beep back home. I need to put a little button here to bleep out some of the words I want to say, but let me move right along here. And that kind of like really peed me off. And this actually was two individuals said something about the situation in Ukraine, Ukraine, and says the next door neighbor, you know what I'm talking about, the neighbors on the West Coast here, they should just come over here and take care of Taiwan. I'm like, whoa, what? That really paired me off. And, I'm like, I told the person, if you don't like it here, just get your, pair butt out of here. Get out of here. And, I don't like getting into conversations in this type of tone, or confrontations, I should say. And that's the first time I've ever done that in all these years out here. But, actually, I bump into a lot of them who feel that they have certain kind of 智商, superiority to other people. And I just want to, try not to get too emotionally involved with fools like this. But this is something that really bugged me. And over the years, I've at least come through about 20 of these type of individuals that in some ways feel they got superiority back in their own home nation, but they carry it over out here because they feel things are a lot more easier for them. They have to be honest with you, these individuals, some parts of the local population still look up to them in a certain way just because of their so-called or their visual type of 优点. That kind of bugged me out today. The other one is a foreign national in mainland China said something really bugged me up. He also mentioned about Ukraine. And he said, well, the people where he's at in mainland China should just come over here. And that really bothered me. Simply because I'm living here in Taiwan. Yeah, that's right. I live here in Taiwan, and I'm going to tell you something. Thank you for joining me, JD. I'm just lucky that people got to know me and got to judge me by the content of my character and not the color of my skin. Sounds familiar, huh? Judge me by the content of my character, not the color of my skin. I mean, I've met people at first when they've never met a person who looked like me before, but when they got to know me and know me well, they came out and they told me this after they drink a couple of beers. Oh, goodness. You don't need to torture people. Just give them a couple of bottles of good beer, which I'm not a connoisseur of. But it's kind of touching, huh? People say, when I first met you, I told you this, and that. Thank you, media. But, I got no like, come on, please. 不管人的肤色，各种各样的人都是不同的肤色，对不对？ Well, that's it. Good and bad people comes in all shapes and sizes and colors too. But let's move right along. And that bothered me. Here's a person that maybe he has some kind of 白人至上, some white superiority feeling living in China because maybe he's looked up that way. But this kind of bothered me. But I let that go by because I have friends on both sides. My former classmates and friends here that they judge me by the content of my character. And this is not me just thinking that. And this is me dealing with them and talking to them to some level over the years. And this is just interesting. But when I see fools like the two types that I just mentioned, that just... It's a shame that people from Western nations just refuse to allow themselves to see that, or excuse my family, right? That people really do have a lot more in common than they think, but they can't. Maybe because they're still caught up in their echo chamber or some ways of arrogant religion that they just cannot move out of. And that's really a shame. And the Ukrainian event going on with Russia and Taiwan, the situation, it just shakes me up a bit. Makes you think about where your home is sometimes. Is it the home, would you call home the place you were born in, or home the place where you own land and property in, or will you call home a place where you raise a family or walk your dog? What is it? Look at a place like, Ukraine that's, over 600,000 kilometers, right? That's about 203 square kilometers, and that's about 233,000 square miles size. Then you look at Russia, which is over 17 million kilometers and almost 7 million square miles in size. And that's a big place. Walking into Ukraine. Let me put this up here. I think sometimes there is a cultivated presumption that the way one thinks is the best way. Yeah, it's called being arrogant. Arrogant. And selectively forgetting your crappy parts. Let me put this up, JD, because you've seen some stuff. For example, it really bugs me when American Christian come. Wow, that is a hot topic. Maybe that's why I miss Chris Hutchinson. Yeah, that's his name. Hitchinson, yeah, I think his name. That bothers me too. Taiwan, we are what? 37,000 kilometers in size, over a little bit over 25 million people, 13 square miles in size. got a next door neighbor that's about over 9 million kilometers in size, and close to what, 3,700,000 square miles in size. I mean, coming over here and talking about Shohui, Taiwan. Oh, please. What bothers me a lot, man, is a lot of foreigners come over here and they don't do enough research on the place they're going. They don't. Which is, some people do it on purpose so they can, when they land in a new place, they can feel totally fresh. What bothers me also sometimes is how my people who I converse with, foreign nationals on the west coast of us, they kind of like, maybe because protection of their business or whatever, they picked up the cultural bias of, the major population there. Yeah, it does. Taiwan is doing that. It is doing that. I just hope it keeps going and people in the Western world, does recognize its value, And it makes me wonder if the people next door, the leading people next door, government, I'm not talking about the people, the government, they may have they could be hell bent on revenge, because how do you say that? When the foreign nations went to China and just raised hell there, that causes some pain in people today over there. I can understand that. I mean, a lot of African Americans, they still talking about, reprimands and all that stuff. That's not going to bring people who died back. And, unfortunately, most of the nations, especially from the West, they have made mistakes. But do we need to repeat them? Mm-mm. Do we need to keep the things that we value the most, such as the right and the freedom to let your opinions be known as long as you don't hurt yourself or others? I think that's fair. But some places you just can't. I just hope the leaders next door are just not hell-bent on getting revenge for the things the Western nations put them through, because they're dishing it out themselves. I guess most powerful nations do that, right? It's almost impossible to turn on a light switch now on without in some way affecting somebody negatively, right? The Western world makes me wonder, did the Western world think ahead? Did they think ahead and even think of the possibility of the neighbor next door wanting, or maybe one day standing up and wanting in revenge or payback or something like that? Maybe I'm thinking too much into this, but it's obvious why they didn't think about that, and the thing is, our next door neighbors, honestly, it may not be nice to say, they did outthink the West in this situation through their patience and long-term tactics for the goals that they want to achieve. And this is it. This is the truth. Right? They're trying to outthink the Western world and think so far ahead and put the world in a situation where everyone has to appease them. And this is something that revealed itself today. In today's terms, in today's time. And it doesn't take a lot of imagination to actually figure out who put us in this situation. The Western world, actually, I'm talking about those in power, looked at China as a way to, actually, they thought they can actually change, convert China in many ways, not only religion-wise, because we know the tons of Jesuits that went over to China, and even here in Taiwan, they try to convert them. It's all about money, I guess, right? Except business, I think. I see politics as a religion too, from my point of view. If you feel otherwise, just let me know and tell me why. Bring your receipts. I try, it takes me a while to do some of my episodes here, because I try to make sure that whatever I say, if someone asks me a question, I can show them receipts. I can show them the link. I can show them this research paper I got this from. And especially my last two, I think, small episodes took, I just want to be able to read up and understand what I'm going to talk about first, But the Western world saw China as a place they could convert to their everything, their financial structure, their structural reforms in finance and stuff like that. But China is not a culture like that. They look at it in a very long-term way where they can benefit through generations. And the quick turnaround, get your return on investment, Western style, sometimes it's not good. It made the Western nations tripped. And China observed it, found the weakness, and now everyone's trying to appease to them. How you doing, Earl? Welcome to my little runabout here. Thanks you for coming by. Thanks a lot. But the Western world became blind, by their greed, and now, if a conflict happens, the Ukraine, there's a conflict between the next door neighbor and Taiwan. Who's going to die? Who's going to die? I've seen a high number of foreign nationals here on YouTube talking about how much they love Taiwan and they love the noodles and all that. I would say more than half of them are not in Taiwan anymore. They're doing their whatever pretty casting from over there in California someplace. I'm walking up and down Chinatown. I'm talking about how much they love Chinese food. Yeah, American so-called Chinese food ain't Chinese food. It's too sweet. Moving right along. I wonder if the local people here in Taiwan or on the other side of the straits can actually see that. Because usually with a person like me who has a clear understanding and study in Chinese history, both here in Taiwan and in mainland China, usually don't listen to me because maybe I don't come from a certain projected type of person they would respect or listen to. And I've noticed this. And JD, you can probably comment on that too, because you probably have seen it too while you're in Taiwan. But I noticed that. I've noticed that with certain parts of the YouTube community. I notice who Taiwanese and mainland Chinese people actually focus their attention mostly on. And that tells me something. It tells me something that I already know, but that's the way it is. So the Western world, or those in power, to make the decisions, are the ones that they kept blind in some ways, arrogantly blind. In a situation between mainland China and Taiwan, if there's really a conflict, who's going to die? It's going to be the poor and the ignorant, while those with enough of deep enough pockets are going to be the ones to leave, immigrate, buy another country's passport, and move right along. This is what you see throughout history. Those with the financial resources are the ones that leave, while the rest, poor and ignorant, are the ones that are left to die. And that's the sad thing. I do understand that the neighbors next door, they're watching what's going on with Russia and Ukraine. They don't want to follow the history that Russia went through, the downspin, after the perestroika and stuff like that. But maybe it's just too late because of the depth of the financial housing burden that's going on. And this is bothering me, Yeah. And that's the unfortunate truth. But I look at my situation because, I got roots here now. And that's fine. That sounds strange, right? And for those foreigners who just foreign nationals, they can leave and go back if they have something to go back to. But like I said, I'm lucky enough to be in a situation to be around people, local people who judge me by the content of my character, not the color of my skin. Of course, there's b-holes all over the place that still have a certain bad, strong feeling against me, but this is the way it is. Yeah, and this is unfortunate. This is unfortunate. And I'm mouthing off about people have a lot more in common than they think, both good and bad, right? Does that make me a hypocrite? Does it make me a hypocrite? You know, people in Taipei are protesting in front of the Russian representative here in Taipei about, you know, what Russia has done to Ukraine. No, man. Yeah. Sleeping is a waste of time, man. What time is it over there? I think you are, what, Washington State? No, I'm kidding. I should be in bed, but I just wanted to say so. Maybe I should stream morning time, but been missing a lot of Randy's time. Yes, what do you say here? Yes, that's right. And you've been here long enough too that I'm sure you, with your walk around this place, you've met people like that, right? I've had people in Taiwan stop me. You know, I'm taking long motorcycle rides and say, did you drink something? Did you eat something? You've been on this motorcycle too long? I mean, I remember those days. You know, it's unfortunately that the younger population globally, I'm talking about, well, in Taiwan or China, stuff like that, they have no recollection of certain historical events. A lot of people in universities from China and United States or Australia and Europe have no idea what Tiananmen incident is. 6.4. 86, sorry. But they don't have no idea what's going on. You got the younger generation here in Taiwan that have no idea about what the white terror was all about. Right? It hurt a lot of people by bicycle combo. It hurt a lot of people here. Yes, it's 12:21 over there. Okay, afternoon. Okay, are you enjoying your tea? Oh, you're not a tea drinker. This is water. You know, but with people right now, the younger generation, or those who are not well versed on history because if they're forced not to be well versed, or they just choose not to be, or they're just too caught up in the digital media world of life, they don't remember times of conflict. Because I come from a generation of time where I remember coming home after school and there's two uniformed men at your door to tell you that your brother's been killed. How many college students today have a recollection of that? Oh, thank you very much, Earl. Earl, if you want information on what I talked about with the Black Panthers, just ask me. I have all the links. I have links to FBI records, Black Panther Party sites. There's some people. Oh, I think in Oakland, two women opened up a Black Panther memorial exhibition. I have links to that. I think my last episode, I put some links in, but, you know, if you want some information on some documents, FBI documents, because it's sort of a public, stuff like that, I can show you my receipts, but it's okay. Yeah, it is, yeah. Yeah, well, being a foreign national, real late about it, that's fine, but a lot of younger folks, they're hearing things, not even from secondhand folks, from fourth-hand folks that sometimes get things mixed up. Green ginger tea, yeah. Well, it's good that you took the time, Jay, to learn it. if a lot of foreign nationals that are here in Taiwan, for example, took the time and learned about it, maybe it would help them assimilate more. But what bothers me is that some foreign nationals who are in China, they say, "Well, the stuff that we learned about China is in our nations, that's lies and all this and that." Oh man, you know, in Mandarin Chinese they have a saying that says, "多数大what say? 多数大沉默," the silent majority. Oh, 沉默的大多数, right? Sorry, I got it backwards. Sorry. But there's a silent minority everywhere, right? And thank you, JD. You know, I really hope I was clear on that, because there's a lot of things I left out because I didn't want, if you notice, I'm making things a little bit shorter now because I don't want to bore people too much. I just hope, you know, people do pass it on, because I want to make it valuable. Because if I'm going to ask people to listen to the stuff that I'm saying, I don't want them to think about, Jeff, was I 废话? Or I'm just wasting their time. I want them to be able to learn something, and maybe we can learn something together instead of just having a video where we're talking about stuff that's really not, makes you feel bad after you watch it. I've seen a lot of it. I mean, it's easy for me to, you know, turn on the camera and speak Mandarin, look all cute and sound silly and say funny things. If you just want to 好时间, you know, go to the gym. That'll be more valuable to you. Well, let me put this up. He said, I found Taiwan tradition from what it used to know today. Fascinating. Yeah, it is fascinating. In what way? Fascinating in how many ways? Because I see a lot of ways. I see a lot of ways. You know, even, you know, if I'm on a mass transit, you know, people react to me in a far better way than it was years ago. And that's good, because Taiwan has become a lot more responsible feeling, more aware of their environment, more concerned about others. And that's cool. I noticed that about Taiwan. And that it's really, really strange to see something like that happen in such a short time, and makes me proud of the Taiwanese in some ways. But like I said, you know, there are still a lot of exceptions to the rule, right? I can't say that's not something that we all shouldn't be prepared for, but we still have to remember. I think I said in one of my episodes, you know, we are walking on thin ice. We are walking on thin ice in many ways, cultural thin ice. So this is getting me more motivated to spend a lot more time on my Taiwan, the Chinese channel I've been trying to do. The thing is, when I find myself when I'm speaking in Mandarin, I just don't want to. I feel a lot better when I'm speaking Mandarin with someone I can talk to, because, hold on for a second, let me see. Yep, you're right. Taiwan is awesome. That's right. Gigi Lee, 你在哪边? So I don't know where you are. Good morning. Good morning, Gigi. 你在哪边? I'm assuming that 你是华人. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. You miss it? Yeah. You know, the past couple of months, I've been trying to get some foreign nationals, especially from Taiwan, on here to talk about certain issues, but I was, you know, stood up. Even today I was stood up. And it bothers me too. I've been trying for, now maybe because it's just me. And I found out that it was other reasons, and coming through third parties, reputation, because yes, okay, let me put this up here. Yeah, it hurts. Now, what do we do from that now? The only thing you can do is repair yourself. Don't make the same mistakes again and keep moving. My home nation still have certain policies and practices that still have legacy to Jim Crow laws, or you know, KKK mistreatment or stuff like that. But things are getting better, and luckily, we do have enforceable laws that protects all Americans, and that's cool. That's cool. Okay, Gigi, I live in Taipei. Oh, hi. Let me put this up here. Thank you for. Why are you not asleep? If you're in Taipei, you should be in bed. 如果你住在台北，你应该去睡觉了吧？你是野猫子吗？好久你跟去玩了。What's up? This is holiday. Let me put this up here. Right, Gigi, I don't want war either. Yeah, well, there's a lot of other places. Taiwan is doing good. Some other places are doing good. Gigi, let me put your content up here. I understand. But, Gigi, maybe you just came in, but nobody wants war. Like I said just now, I mean, I still remember the day coming home after school and getting the report and seeing 2 soldiers at the door to tell us, you know, someone that we cared about has died. 你是野猫子. I'm sure if that happens to a situation here in Taiwan, they'll think about it because, you know, I've seen war. I've seen bombings. 对我野毛子，哈哈。你刚去哪里了吧？你从外面回来，对不对？今天是和平纪念日。和平纪念日。It's really weird because this is the day that Taiwan is celebrating Peace Memorial Day. And right at this time, 苏俄在攻打乌克兰。It's scary, man. Okay. Yeah, Taiwan had its dictator too, right? But now you can say things without the fear of being hit in the mouth, right? Right, Gigi? Interesting name. Okay, 了解。Okay, 我们叫玩 Clubhouse. Okay, I understand. Oh, 是 on the Chinese， 就是中文频道吗？还是英文的？应该是中文频道，对不对？ You're talking in about Ukraine on the Chinese 坊间吗？In Ukraine? Oh, yes, okay. I don't want to. I could, but when I'm inside Clubhouse, it's like I feel kind of left out in some ways. I understand about 90% of what's being said, but I just feel people are just there to 发泄. They're just there to talk, but it's all about control. 中文呢? Okay. Right. I think it would be more inspirational. It was more, yeah, really, 是大陆的啊，一起聊天啊，他们的态度怎么样？是不是很暴力吧？他们也是反对啊 ？OK， 他们不是粉红啊。I understand. Yes, JD Clubhouse. Yeah, the app. Yeah, it's quite. I've held some Chinese channels. And I've forgotten one group I actually started. 莫名其妙 2,000 people. I was like, no, not 2,000, almost. There's a lot of people. I was shocked that time. And I can even broadcast Clubhouse here. 季季，你知道吗？我可以把那个 Clubhouse 就转播到这边，你知道吗？等一下呢，太快。对，跟中国人、大陆人，对不对？他们跟我们一样反对，对，他们不是粉红，粉红的人不会 言语的跟台湾人太密切的聊天吧。Now it's okay, but this is giving me more impetus, and my better half is really giving me a lot of encouragement to do a little bit more on my Chinese channel. Okay, now let me speak English here. Gigi, 我们知道目前过去在英文的房间。OK. 你们之前有英文的 OK. But the thing is, a lot of things that goes on the Chinese channels, right? I wish it was able to be spontaneously 翻译 to actually show some foreign nationals what's going on, you know, where and all that stuff. But that's a whole different story. Because what also makes me nervous is the situation that's going on in Hong Kong. And it makes people here in Taiwan nervous, but I just hope that people here do not drop their guard. And yesterday, a U.S. destroyer came down the Taiwan Straits, and they turned on their identification indicator to let the neighbors know that we're here. Okay, let me put this up, Gigi. Yeah. There's some things about my government who I oppose. I'm not a fan of the current president, and I fell out of liking with our other former president. And I'm not talking about Trump. He's a New Yorker. I'm a New Yorker. I know too much about him. Unfortunately, we find out who's a Quele. Yeah. This is the thing, though. But the thing is, they used Western greed to put them in a situation where they can control things. If you look at the amounts of, for example, technology, chips, a lot of it is what's made in China. Not back like Americans, medical medicines are mixed in China or India. What bothers me is that if you look at TSMC here, you know, in Hsinchu, you know, the chips are made here. That gives Taiwan some global leverage. But I'm hearing more and more news about TSMC wanting to open up fabricating plants in the United States. What will happen if TSMC moves those companies that makes, you know, 晶片, you know, the IC chips out of Taiwan into the United States or Europe, and less so in Taiwan? That means to the rest of the world, it's possible that Taiwan would not be seen as that valuable anymore. This is the thing that kicks me off, and nobody wants to talk about it. I wanted to have a discussion with a foreign national to come on and we talk about it live. But once again, it causes me a little bit to lose trust with people. You saw enough, right? When you see enough of real war, death, suffering, it wakes you up in a way and you just cannot erase it, but it makes you appreciate more. Yes, let me go over here. Yes, 很多卧底吧 right? 卧底. There's a lot of them. 卧底. How do you say it in English? It's insiders or something like that. Yeah, it's true. Well, that's not a big secret. That's not a big secret. And this is the thing that eventually it's a slow virus that takes governments apart. It's scary. So Gigi, what are you doing about it? Yeah, I know how you feel. I can see that. But yeah, see, I'm telling the truth about TSMC, right? I think most Taiwanese people do not understand who really owns TSMC, but I'm not going to talk about that now because there are other people. One in particular has a lot more knowledge on that than I do. But, you know, Taiwan has certain skills, but when those skills move on or 绝种了, what happens? That's right. 不是秘密，对不对？无法解决. Yes, it is a way. It is a way. Yes, Jay, I missed your point. I'm sorry. This thing screen. Let me see if I can make this. I got things on my screen here. Let me move some stuff down. I really should have, like, I just wish that I can. You'll find out something, JD, that in this community here in Taiwan, especially the foreign community, there's certain voices that seem to be, I think I better leave it alone. I want to hold a round table with people, especially foreign nationals or even locals here in Taiwan. I can do a round table about I can hold 100 people, but I think I'll limit it to about 15 to 20, so we can talk about some in-depth stuff. But there are people out there who, in our community, JD, that are willing to stick their chests out but not say anything. What do you mean here? Because of free speech, we protect their rights? Yeah. Yes, I know what you mean. We have people who want to subvert,破坏民主国家，他们自己过去 they go into a democratic society and we protect their freedoms, but 没有什么反过来的保护。Yeah, legislation. But the legislation is no good if nobody 进行吧。Yeah, Earl, let's put you up here. In Taiwan. So stay put. Right. I agree. Because once they pull out of Taiwan, they go to North America, Europe, the world is going to be less focused on Taiwan. And this is a danger. When you're not looking at the right hand, the left hand is doing something else, and it's not picking its nose. Yeah, you're right. Thank you, JD, for staying up with me. Probably working late at night too, right? This is scary. This is scary, and I just hope people are more aware of the little things. And if it get to the point where people really have to take up arms, maybe that's when they wake up. And Earl, you were in the military. I come from military background family. We know what it is. Plenty, yeah. But out here in Taiwan, we have the Taiwanese have the skill, the hunger, the connections that a lot of Western nations don't, because they just have that 跑单帮, the will to go out there and into the jungle of the business world and do things. So Gigi, what are you a Taiwanese citizen? I mean, because you type in Chinese doesn't mean you're a Taiwanese citizen. What are you doing? Gigi, 你是台湾人的吧？你的英文很好。Boom. Thanks, guys, for listening to my big mouth. I wish I could say something that can uplift people. I just hope my community here, my neighbors who are just so damn good to me, are able to do something. Okay. Yeah. Okay. 王爷世纪 Okay, 我做王爷世纪 So you are what's that? Web designer. Web designer. Web designer. 再给我联络，你可以帮我的网页很烂啊，我没有时间照顾它。I have no time to take care of it. 可以说我的网站过一段时间它会疲乏掉。In what way, Jay? Like, you mean in their choices, behavior, hospitality? In what way? Because I find it all across the board. Okay, so Gigi, help me fix 我的网页不是很理想。What I think is important is that foreign nationals here can actually communicate more openly and fairly. I mean, we are guests. Everybody's working from home. We are guests. What I'm trying to do is get foreign nationals who can speak, at least an elementary level of Mandarin to speak in the local language to talk to people in the community. But once again, I've given up now. And that pains me. This is why I have sleepless nights. Gigi, a lot of people is working from home, right? It's more convenient. It's just some, people in my home nations gotta think in a different way because they're getting subverted from the inside by external influences. They just can't see it. And this type of blind, soulless living is just bad in the long term, and it will pay for it. Let me go over here. Yeah, I hope so. Let's put it over here. Now I see what you're saying. Yeah. Especially when you go to the south. I really love the crap out of Taiwan. What's this? Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course. Everybody. A new report came out by two agencies. Yeah, I think European. I think one is Switzerland, the other one is Norway. I'm not sure, but they talked about where Guangzhou Bingdu come from, the COVID-19. They said it's not from a lab. It's actually come from the market. I'm gonna have to read that up. Yeah, I want to travel too, but not where too many people. Okay, JD, good night, okay? And thank you for your comment. I saw your comment just now. I really appreciate it. I just hope whatever I put up on this lonely channel is worth it. A couple of months ago, I got a little big boost from Sydney Naipa. Sydney Daddy, his web channel. He sent a lot of people over here. I really appreciate it. No, I understand everything you're saying, Gigi. I understand everything. You can write in Mandarin. I can understand, but it's okay. Maybe I should get on Clubhouse too, right? Okay, Gigi, you take care, okay? 保重. I think, see, JD has to go out here, and maybe I'll be talking all by myself again soon, but that's okay. So let's see how long I've been on here. Oh my goodness, 51 minutes. Okay, I'll go another 5 minutes. And what else I can talk about since I'm here? It's good. I'm glad that people in Taiwan are showing how they feel about what's going on. Let me put this up and you can say bye to them. I'm glad people in Taiwan are taking the stance and taking the opportunity to stand in front of the Russian representatives here and to let them know this is how they feel. But we know it's a direct sign to the neighbors next door that we're watching you. When in 1995, when mainland China sent a lot of missiles to their east coast and fired rockets very close to southern Taiwan, the United States sent an armada right down the Taiwan Straits. That was Clinton. Now China has more sea hardware in the seas. Right now, the United States, ships are a little bit smaller though. They have more ships on the seas than the United States. But, yesterday, the United States did send a destroyer down the straits with their AIT transmitting the identification device on, saying, we are here. We are I forgot which destroyer it was. We are the some whatever destroyer, and we are in international waters, and we have the right to be going down, in international water, as a routine. This is what we do. Let me put this back up here, what you said up here. Hope for peace in Ukraine, hope for peace in Taiwan, and hope for peace in the world. 我赶快你啦，对了。I've seen destruction, I've seen death, and it changes you. It's not a movie. There's no Rambos. Or how much Kung Fu you may know. Only the poor and the ignorant are the ones who are going to die. While the other ones will get on the airplane and fly out. Or buy another country's passport. Like I said, people have a lot more in common than we think. And that also includes the good and the bad. I do understand your feeling. I really do. So what can we do? Got 3 people watching. Oh, USS, okay. So you know more about, okay. Yeah, they turned the, I think it's called the AITs. It's some kind of auto identification transmitter or something like that. Okay, thank you, Earl. I appreciate it. Earl, you're Army. That's right. I think you're Army. Yeah. When you turn on that switch, because the other, the United States sent ships down in December and January. They did not turn on these recognition devices. But yesterday they did. And 1 destroyer. So what bothers me is that the identification zone off the southern Taiwan is being, invaded every day. And it just takes one time. I mean, if it becomes too common, somebody's going to drop their guard. And one of these days, they're going to be flying to the zone. It's just going to think another harassment day. But all of a sudden, it's not that. It's going to be a little bit more. 不能掉以轻心. Don't drop your guards. Now, am I a fearmonger? I'm not trying to be one. I'm just trying to be realistic. But the question of the bottom line is, what can us regular folk do? Hide. Folks, I'll give it 5 more minutes because I don't want to bore the 3 people I have watching. But I do appreciate you guys actually listening to all the 废话. But I shouldn't say that. Probably listening to my rant. I do have things to say, but I'll wait because I don't want to say things that are just not needed. There's Randy in Shanghai. When he gets on air here, he goes, run. You got this. 什么意思？我跨步啦。Oh, Randy can do well. Oh, access more than 3. I just got home to enjoy. 你迟到了吧？我被处罚。You're late. Yeah, I'm trying to stay on the positive side, but it's hard. 有一点悲观呢。And I'll try not to let it set in. My next topic I'm going to cover is about, I think what I'm going to do is talk about another African American who actually put in a lot of energy in following certain communist ideology, but over the years got burnt out and found out that all he was fighting for is a lie. I'm going to talk about that, and that's going to take me more time to research because I don't think I'm fully ready for it yet, but luckily I'm able to edit. Okay, but where are you? Are you stateside? Alexa, Gong, I don't know. It's not. It looks like a Cantonese name, Gong or Kong. I was working. If that's right, you're probably on the other side of the world. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. thanks for stopping by and listening to my rant here. But maybe you can listen to the playback. The beginning is a little bit more exciting. I just had to get certain things off my chest, but now I feel a little bit better. Thanks to Earl, JD, Gigi, thanks to Axel. I really appreciate it. And US. Okay. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. But I'm working on trying to make a little bit more content that's valuable instead of not sitting here and talking how wonderful Taiwan beef noodles are. But what, everybody knows that. Talk about more valuable things without getting myself into trouble. If you're on exactly on the other side, you're probably, Florida, New York, in that area. I'm from Nueva York. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. Because if it comes so much of a normalcy and, somebody's watching the radar and say, oh, here they come again. And one of these days going to be not ready and too slow to respond. And, if the automatic system goes in, that's only going to be able to run for a while. If you put the Patriot missiles into action and stuff like that, you need time to get people over to the coastline and do the mining and all that stuff. The thing is, I wonder how ready the population is. The older population been through a lot. Okay. That's right, Boston. Yeah. Hey, it should be a little bit warmer now in Boston right now. Thank goodness. I like Boston. Hey, your mayor, what's her name? She's Taiwanese ancestry, right? I forgot her name. I forgot her name. She's not like Yang Anja. She's not like Andrew Yang. She's unique. I think she's more like Elizabeth Warren. But I understand she's quite young and she's going to have some longevity. And that's cool. New York now has a new mayor, which I don't. Early spring. Okay. I don't know. I'm watching his responses. Early spring. That's going to be interesting. I think when I wake up tomorrow, I'm going to look up more information about her. I know a little bit about her background. So there's a lot of things going on. Boston got a new mayor. New York mayor, he's done a lot of changes, especially with the police department. Michelle Wu. Okay. Thank you. Earl, are you, what is this, man? Are you Are you an encyclopedia? Or your fingers are just fast on Google? Takes me so long to produce stuff because I have to write it, script it, make sure, edit it. And if I put videos together, I have to make sure that people watching have enough of information that they can see and relate to instead of me just picture talking and running my mouth. So I hope the last two, even though at this time I talked about the Black Panthers, I just wanted to point it out how important it is that we pay more attention to the type of outside ideologies or thought we bring into our culture. We have to be careful of that because sometimes it can be a Trojan horse or a ticking time bomb. And this is what I've seen in the States. Okay, guys, look, I've been here for an hour. Alexi Kong, I hope next time I can get you in a little bit earlier because we all need to work, right? And right now it's almost 5 a.m. here. And maybe if I broadcast in the daytime here, say before about 10 o'clock, between 10 o'clock in the morning and 12 o'clock noon, probably be a good time. But I don't want to do that because sometimes homeboy Black and Abroad in Asia, Randy, he does his live streams. I missed quite a few of his, which I get a lot of information from. But look, Gigi, JD, thanks for coming in. Earl, Alexa, my 5 people are watching. I really appreciate it. that I'm going to go sleep, man, that you took the time to listen to whatever I had to say here. And if you guys have any comments on what you'd like me to do in the future, write it down. And, if it's interesting, believe me, I will do the work, because I like taking my experience or information that I gather and put it out there, because, I've studied, this is what my major was in China, Chinese history, modern Chinese history. And something that the Western people need to pay more attention to. So, 各位晚安，保重. Everybody take care. And once again, thanks a lot for joining me here at my tiny little website, YouTube page. GG, 保重，你保重 OK? And 如果在 Clubhouse, 你可以ping我一下好不好？我们到一个房间可以聊天。Okay, I'm going to go sleep. Thank you. Put this up here again, Earl. Take care. Enjoy your tea. Gigi, 你要赶快睡觉了吧 Okay? Everybody, take care. And thank you very much. 保重. Good night. Thank you very much.